Chicago reader, in the 1960s, the poverty rate for an African American was 29.7%, and the unemployment rate was 7.6%, and the average income for an African American family was about $4,800 a month. Who would have thought that a little girl who grew up in the south side of Chicago would become one of the most successful women in the 21st century? Now, I'm sure Michelle's family and her family had high expectations for her and her brother both, because they put education at the top of their priorities from a very young age. Michelle was influenced by education at an early age. She began to impact lives in high school, and she continued to do so throughout her career. My mother, much like Michelle, also put education as a top priority from at the very beginning of me and my brother's lives. She's an educator who tries to help others get the best help and get into the best schools using her resources. Michelle loved helping others her whole life. Her passion started at a very young age and continues today. I'm not sure Michelle knew what impact she would have on others' lives and society, and how she would help change lives for the better. Michelle Obama was born Michelle Yvonne Robertson on January 17, 1964. She grew up in a small bungalow on the south side of Chicago. Her father was a pump operator and a Democratic precinct captain, which is an elected official in the American political party system. Her mother was a secretary for a catalog company called Nicholls, and their family had a very close-knit bond. According to biography.com, there's always been an emphasis on education in their household. At the age of 4, the Robertson children learned to read, and they both skipped the 2nd grade. In the 6th grade, she was chosen for a gifted program, and in high school, she attended Whitney M. Young Magnet High School, where she earned the 2nd highest GPA in her class. As stated in an article on history.com, she then continued her secondary education at Princeton University, where she created a reading program for the children of the school's manual laborers. This program basically just kept the kids preoccupied while the professors or maintenance workers finished doing whatever they had to do on campus. She was a sociology major with a minor in African American Studies and graduated cum laude in 1985. She then attended Harvard Law School, where she earned her jurisdiction and moved back home to Chicago to work in a small local firm as a junior associate specializing in intellectual property and marketing. While at this firm, she met her soulmate, Barack Obama, and within 2 years they were married and engaged on October 3rd, 1992. Michelle left corporate law in 1991 and then pursued a career, and most people would think is her passion, which is public service, which enabled her to create networking opportunities that would later benefit her husband's political career. She became the city's assistant commissioner of planning and development, and she was also named the executive director of Chicago's Public Allies, and this was basically just a leadership program for the young adults in the community. She was then named Associate of Deans of Services at the University of Chicago, where she created their first community service program. On January 20th, 2009, Barack Obama was named the 44th President of the United States, making Michelle the 44th First Lady of the United States. Since Barack's election, she has worked tirelessly and effortlessly to promote higher education across the country. Michelle created the Reach Higher program in 2014. As stated in an article, the Reach Higher program helps students ensure students understand what they need to complete their education, including exposing students to college and career opportunities, understanding financial aid, eligibility, and making school affordable, encouraging academic planning and summer learning opportunities, and also supporting high school counselors so they can help get more kids into school. Michelle has done so much to promote higher education, and she continues to educate and help students find the best sources that will benefit their situation. From an early age, education has been a main priority in her life. Michelle has led the crusade for several initiatives that include the need for post-secondary education, school counselors, girls' education, education for African Americans, arts education, healthy school lunches, and fashion education. This was also stated in an article on Advocate. Michelle was born to help influence others. She put an emphasis on education at a very young age. Michelle could have allowed the fact that she grew up in a high-poverty neighborhood affect her success, but she used this as her motivation by accomplishing many things that people at that age probably wouldn't have had the work ethic to do. Being born in the 60s as an African American in the south side of Chicago might have destined you to a future of hopelessness, but not if you're Michelle Yvonne Robinson, also known as Michelle Obama. She was a driven young woman who had a passion for learning and pursued her dreams while always striving to help others. Michelle, there was many other things education-wise that she did, but I thought the most important one was the Reach Higher program, because we need to get more kids into college. Like, we shouldn't, not everyone has the access and opportunities that we have to get into college, and I think that we should all try and, I'm not saying we all have the power to help, but like any little thing can help get more kids into college. And I think Michelle really focuses on that, and she's going to continue to do that throughout her career. And I'm very grateful to have learned all this stuff about her, and this is Motivated Michelle.